I think he's a prick. Like, he's just been chiming at me since he first got in the UFC, and I'm just not one. I'll chime back, you know, like he just makes it like he discredits me as a fighter.
I don't like his face. I don't like that his face is attached to his body, and I would love to separate the two. I don't like the bloke. I don't know anything about him, but I hate everything he stands for. Can't wait to elbow him in the nose.
Dan Hooker lashes out at Arman Tsarukyan, calling him a spoiled rich kid who's had everything handed to him. He accuses Arman of constantly discrediting him and making false claims that he avoids fights. Hooker insists that, unlike Arman, he's built his career from nothing through hard work and grit, declaring that money can't help Arman beat him inside the cage.
He's just been chiming at me since he first got in the UFC, and I'm just not one. I'll chime back, you know, like he just makes it like he discredits me as a fighter. He says that I turn him down and running away from him and stuff like this. So he's been carrying on for all these years, and yeah, now like, I've obviously chimed back, and I'm not one to mince my words when I'm talking back to someone. Yeah, I just kind of think he's a spoiled little rich kid that's had everything handed to him, and yeah, I think I'm like the epitome of, I'm just the complete opposite of that. Like, I've taken everything that I have, I've worked hard, I come out of nothing. So I just love to just rub it in his face, really.
Well,
money can't help you beat Dan Hooker. That's what I want to. Money can't help you beat Dan Hooker.
Dan Hooker admits that his upcoming fight with Arman Tsarukyan truly motivates him, unlike a potential matchup with Justin Gaethje. He explains that he wanted the Tsarukyan fight even before Gaethje was booked because people expect him to lose, and that underdog energy fuels him. Hooker says he thrives in those moments, and that this is the kind of fight that gets him out of bed every morning.
Is this the fight you wanted?
This is the fight that I wanted. This is the fight that I wanted before the Gaethje fight got matched. This is the fight that I wanted, because I feel like it's a guy that everyone thinks is going to beat me. That's what I want. That's what I want the fight. That's why I want the fight. You know, obviously everyone wants the Gaethje fight and these fun fights. To me, I want the toughest test. I want the guy that everyone thinks I'm going to lose to. I want the guy that the odds are stacked against. And I feel like this is one of those fights. Big underdog. I can't wait to see the betting on it. I love it when the boys make a bunch of money off me. I love coming into our fights as a heavy underdog. That's my favorite. That's where I thrive. That's where I do my best work. I'm excited. This fight gets me out of bed. Gaethje didn't even really get me out of bed. I didn't even get out of bed for that fight. This fight is exciting to me, and that's hard for people to understand, but
Dan Hooker further fires shots at Arman Tsarukyan and promises a violent showdown. He makes it clear he doesn't like Tsarukyan and plans to come at him with full aggression, even joking that he'll try to kick his head off. Hooker admits that Tsarukyan's trash talk won't get under his skin, but says the tension between them will make both the press events and the fight even more explosive.
I could not like him. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try and kick his head off. I'm gonna try. It makes no difference to me. It's more exciting for the fans, obviously, with the build-up and the tension and stuff like that. He's a bit of a donkey with his words. He's not going to say anything really interesting, or to say anything to try to piss me off would be very difficult. But yeah, it'll be exciting for the fans, for the press conference, and getting in each other's faces and that, because yeah, I think there's a lot of animosity there. I don't like the way
Arman Tsarukyan also fires back at Dan Hooker, warning that all the tough talk means nothing once the cage door closes. He says Hooker is only putting on a show for attention and vows to dominate him from start to finish. Tsarukyan adds that he and his team are fully prepared for every scenario and plan to deliver a clear, commanding victory.
Especially we are fighters, you know.
Sure.
Maybe he's gonna talk a lot, but a lot of brothers coming, and hopefully he's gonna they gonna stop me, you know.
Oh my.
And yeah, I shouldn't do some crazy things. I just gotta be focused, because I'm gonna have 25 minutes to beat his ass.
When you say brothers, you mean your team, right?
Yeah, this time a lot of people comes. A lot of people comes to Qatar. They don't need a visa, so this time we're gonna have a bunch of people from Russia, from Armenia. So I'm gonna have big team.
On the other hand, Dan Hooker laughs off Arman Tsarukyan's talk about arriving in Qatar with a big team, saying it doesn't intimidate him in the slightest. He explains that he's been through tougher situations before and never needed anyone else to fight his battles. Hooker stresses that if a problem ever arises, he faces it head-on himself rather than relying on others to handle it.
I've had my ass beat more times than you've had hot dinners, brother. You think you think that scares me in any way, shape, or form? You're off your head.
You got some pretty tough brothers on your side as well, just for the record.
I got some pretty tough brothers, but I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, brother. I'm not that guy. I've heard him as well. I'm not that guy. I don't go get no one in my life. You beat me up, I'm not gonna go get anyone else to come and sort it out. I'm not gonna hide behind anyone. I don't need brothers. I have brothers, but I'm not that guy. I don't go and get people. If I got a problem with someone, I'll come around your house and sort it out myself. I'm not. I don't send anyone to go and do my dirty work, brother.
Dan Hooker makes his feelings clear after the fight with Arman Tsarukyan is confirmed, expressing a strong dislike for him. He shows zero respect towards Tsarukyan and admits he's eager to land an elbow during the bout, emphasizing how fired up and motivated he is for this matchup.
I don't like his face. I don't like that his face is attached to his body, and I would love to separate the two. I don't like the bloke. I don't know anything about him, but I hate everything he stands for. Can't wait to elbow him in the nose.
However, Arman Tsarukyan admits that facing Dan Hooker is a tougher challenge than fighting Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje. He explains that Hooker's striking style creates major problems for wrestlers, as his long reach and precise kicks make it hard to close the distance without taking punishment.
Для меня, если честно, все бои сложные, потому что столько тренировок, тренировочный лагерь, весогонка, потом тебе драться надо. Он высокий, конечности длинные. Довольно хорошо стал защищаться от партера, встает хорошо, набрал неплохо. То есть, то, что он не умеет бороться, вот это самое. Именно в вольной борьбе он защищается не так хорошо. Вот этим и нужно брать. Но если бы я выбирал, я бы, конечно, выбрал бы Пимблета или Гейджи. С ними поудобнее, чем с Хукером. Так как Хукер очень высокий, с такими чуть тяжело драться. Тяжелее подойти, они на дистанции отстреливаются. Такие мерзкие удары ногами у него. Сдалека бьет этот тип, и хорошо. Для борцов чуть неудобные удары.
Dan Hooker warns that if Arman Tsarukyan tries to get too close, he won't hesitate to swing, even if it risks the fight. He admits the tension between them is intense and believes it's up to the UFC to keep them apart until fight night to ensure the bout actually happens.
When it comes to Arman and this fight week, do you think he's gonna, stand for what he said he was going to do? Like, if I see Dan, it's on. Or do you believe now that the fight's official and you guys see each other, do you anticipate he's going to be a lot more quieter now?
Nah, I don't give a bro. I don't give a If he comes in arm's range to me, I'm gonna hit him. That's the long and short of it, and the fight's gonna be off. I don't care about that. That's what I'm saying. If you put me near the guy, the fight, and I feel like he feels the exact same way. If you put me near the guy, I'm gonna try and hit him and throw shit at him and him off. Yeah, that's not really my concern. The UFC wants this fight to happen, so I feel like it's on them to keep us away from each other.
On the other hand, Arman Tsarukyan claims that Justin Gaethje turned down a fight offer when he asked the UFC for a top contender matchup. He says the promotion informed him that Gaethje wasn't interested, so he decided to stay active and accepted Dan Hooker as the next best option. Tsarukyan admits Gaethje was his preferred opponent, but insists that facing either fighter would result in an easy payday for him.
So I was asking about the title fight, and they said this year Ile he's not gonna fight, so that's why I said I'll fight to anybody, because I haven't fought a long time, so I wanna fight. And Dan Hooker, Gaethje, works for me, these names. And finally Gaethje, like I heard, like Gaethje said no, and Hooker said yes, so we are in.
Okay, so was Gaethje the top choice?
Gaethje would be better, but for me, doesn't matter. It's both of them. It's just easy money for me.
Earlier, Arman Tsarukyan wanted a title shot but admitted he would accept another top contender if Ilia Topuria wasn't available, as long as it guaranteed a title opportunity afterward. He named Justin Gaethje as his preferred opponent, saying that a win over him would erase any doubt about who deserved the belt. While he also mentioned Dan Hooker as a possible matchup, Tsarukyan stressed that the UFC shouldn't ignore him in favor of booking Paddy Pimblett against Topuria.
The other contenders is Gaethje, who wants to fight for the title, because if I beat him, he's not gonna say anything about title, or Paddy, those two names. But Hooker, he's not on the title contender. But still, if they give me those three names, I'll fight. But they gotta tell me, if you beat this guy, you're gonna fight for the title, and they're not gonna like make fight Paddy versus Ilia and me versus someone, because I wanna fight as soon as possible and then go to the title fight.
Arman Tsarukyan believes Justin Gaethje turned down the fight to avoid risking a loss. He argues it would be unfair if Gaethje still received a title shot after refusing the matchup, but acknowledges that the decision ultimately lies with the UFC. Tsarukyan adds that his upcoming fight will likely determine the next title challenger, even if it hasn't been made official yet.
Do you know why Gaethje said no?
But he knows he could lose to me.
Right. Do you think he's going to get a title shot as a result of saying no? That seems to be the rumor.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad to me, you know.
You mean it's going to be a one-sided fight?
I mean, we'll see how I fight, how like my fight goes, but for sure our fight is number one contender.
When you accepted the fight, did they tell you that? Did they say, okay, it's done November 22nd and it's going to be number one contender, or did you find out like all of us?
No, they didn't say like this is number one contender fight, but like Dana said last weekend,
yeah,
it's a number one contender fight. But you know, like we know they can do whatever they want to do. So
on the other hand, Islam Makhachev looks like a beast ahead of his welterweight title fight against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. The former lightweight champion showcases his incredible strength and conditioning, training with intense grappling sessions on the beach as part of his final preparations.
Sleep. رقد اطلع اسلامي ما تمرض بري بري وخالد عقه تحت عقه down on the floor. ايوه let me sand. طلعت روح خلاص game over الحين.
Meanwhile, Beneil Dariush expects Islam Makhachev to eventually achieve his dream of becoming a two-division champion, but thinks Jack Della Maddalena might hold the edge if they meet at UFC 322. He highlights Jack's size and endurance as key advantages and admits the matchup could surprise him, though his early pick leans toward Jack.
Islam versus JDM. Do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm going to lean now towards JDM. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I just feel like JDM.
Michael Bisping also believes Jack Della Maddalena has a real chance to shock the world at UFC 322. He points out Jack's size, sharp boxing, and solid takedown defense as key factors that could trouble Islam Makhachev. Bisping notes that Jack seems to be performing at his absolute best right now and thinks there's a strong possibility he leaves the fight with his title intact.
So Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, that has been announced, but I'll tell you what, Jack Della Maddalena is bigger. He showed that he can stop takedowns. On the feet, there's absolutely no question. Jack Della Maddalena is on another level. He's probably got the best, cleanest boxing in the UFC. It wouldn't surprise me if we see an upset here and Jack Della Maddalena is still the champion at the end of the day.
Nick Barnhill feels Jack Della Maddalena's style could finally give Islam Makhachev the kind of challenge fans have been waiting for. He explains that Makhachev's dominance at lightweight hasn't been fully appreciated, not because of his skills, but due to the high bar set by Khabib Nurmagomedov. Barnhill adds that Islam's title run was often affected by opponent pullouts and short notice changes, which made his reign seem less impressive than it really was.
I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the perfect style to combat Islam and moreover give us what we've wanted out of an Islam Makhachev fight for years now, which is a competitive fight.
Yeah.
Islam, it was really unfortunate for him because his entire legacy as 155 champion is a bit tarnished, and it's not from anything he did, but because of our expectations and how good he is and the footprint that Khabib laid and then he had to follow, it felt very quickly that once he got the belt, there was a big gap in skill between him and everybody else. And then with a couple things like fallouts happening, Arman Tsarukyan, you know, pulling out like a day before the event, him having to fight Renato Moicano instead, all of those types of things made Islam's career at 155 feel diminished and not as epic as it truly was. So this to me is exactly where Islam needed to go with his career if he wanted to get the respect and the legacy that he's been trying to build since he, you know, had dreams of the UFC.
However, Colby Covington sides with Islam Makhachev in his fight against Jack Della Maddalena, recognizing that despite being the smaller man, Islam's overall game makes him dangerous for anyone. He points out that once Makhachev gets the fight to the mat and starts dictating the pace, it could quickly turn in his favor. Covington admits the size difference adds intrigue to the matchup, but still expects Islam's technique and composure to carry him to victory.
Islam versus JDM. What do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, you know, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, you know, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, you know, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Meanwhile, Johnny Walker sees Islam Makhachev's move to welterweight as a fresh and promising step forward. He admires Islam's calm mindset, grit, and sharp technique, saying those traits will help him compete smoothly against bigger fighters. Walker expects Makhachev to adjust fast and continue his winning run in the new weight class.
I think Islam, yeah, he's been a really tough fight and incredible technique for the last all his career, no? And I believe he still can get it. But as I said, it's a new division, new body type, new power, everything. It's moving up. It's a big testing for him, but I believe he can do good too.
Alexander Volkanovski praises Jack Della Maddalena's ability to stay busy with his striking even while defending takedowns. He points out that Jack's recent wins over skilled grapplers have boosted his confidence, making him better prepared to handle the kind of pressure and control Islam Makhachev brings.
Jack Della and what he did with Bilal is he will, you know, you get people that are worried about the takedown, so like, and then they don't fight their fight on the feet. I'm gonna fight my fight and worry about the takedown when it's there.
Exactly.
And that's perfect. You need to be like that. For me, like with Islam, was like, I'm going to do my thing. Yeah, I'll be worried about it, but at the same time, find the shots to go in, boom, boom, boom. But I'll worry about the takedown when they're
Later
there. But
on,
still
once you realize you could handle it, then you were just like, this shit, I can handle it.
And the confidence Jack Della is going to have now from getting through that, even though he's going to be confident. And then there's another one when you're successful with guys that are very dominant there. When you have the success there, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now you end up even that much better at the takedown. And then he's going to do a lot. We're actually going to get a bit of training in and that as well. Like obviously he's going to do.
Over there.
Hey?
You going over there?
He'll probably come over here, or maybe we'll get we'll see. I might even go over there, whatever they want. I'm happy to do whatever.
Robert Whitaker also admits Jack Della Maddalena has the tools to make things difficult for Islam Makhachev, even though he personally favors Makhachev to win. He points out that Jack's size, strong grappling, and unpredictable striking could cause real problems for Islam. Whitaker adds that Jack's takedown defense, sharp boxing, and punishing body shots, especially from unorthodox angles, make him a dangerous opponent in every exchange.
Why does he beat Islam in your opinion?
I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk, okay? But Jack's bigger. Jack's a little, like, he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands, and if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines, but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. You know, I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
However, Terrence McKinney believes fans are overlooking how much stronger and more durable Islam Makhachev could be at welterweight without the weight cut. He predicts that Islam's grappling will reach another level in the new division and expects the matchup to be far more competitive than most think. McKinney envisions a hard-fought 5-round contest with Makhachev edging out a close 3-2 decision to capture his second UFC title.
People think his chin's gonna be much better. He's not drained. Like, I think he's gonna be stronger once he hits the ground. I think it's gonna be a closer fight than people think, but I can see Islam definitely winning 3-2 and becoming a double champ.
That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on this matchup? Share your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our other videos on the screen right now.